Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Narayanam Namaskrityam
Narayana Shrityam
Naranjaiva Narottamam
Naranjayam
Devin Saraswatin Vyasam
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam
Tato Jayamudiraye
Tato Jayamudhi
Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu
Ashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya
Nityam Bhagavate Sevaya
Bhagavate Uttama Sloke
Bhagavate Sloka
Bhaktin Bhavadir Naishchiti
Bhaktin Bhakti
Krishnaya Vasudevaya
Krishnaya Vasudevaya
Devagi Nandanaya cha
Devaki Nandanaya cha
Nandagopa Kumaraya
Nandagoparaya
Govindaya Namo Namaha.
Govindaya Namo Namaha.
Hare Krishna, welcome all the devotees for the morning Srimad Bhagavatam discussion. Today we are going to discuss Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 4, Text 3 and 4. The canto name is The Cosmic Manifestation and the chapter name is The Process of Creation. Please repeat the sloka behind me. Papraccha cemam evārthaṁ
Papraccha cemam evārthaṁ
yanmam pṛcchatha sattamāḥ
Yanmam pṛcchatha sattamāḥ
kṛṣṇānubhāva-śravaṇe
kṛṣṇānubhāva-śravaṇe
śraddadhāno mahā-manāḥ
śraddadhāno mahā-manāḥ
saṁsthāṁ vijñāya sannyasya
saṁsthāṁ
sannyasya
karma trai-vargikaṁ
ātma-bhāvaṁ
vāsudeve bhagavati
vāsudeve bhagavati
ātma-bhāvaṁ dṛḍhaṁ gataḥ.
ātma-bhāvaṁ gataḥ.
Word by word, please repeat behind me. Papraccha,
papraccha
asked.
asked
Cha,
cha
also.
Also
Imam,
imam
this.
this
Eva,
eva
exactly like.
exactly like
Artham,
Artha
artham
purpose.
purpose
Yat,
yat
that.
that
mom
mom
Unto me.
unto me
Pṛcchatha,
pṛcchatha.
you are asking.
you
You are
are
asking
Sattamāḥ,
sattamāḥ,
O great sages.
O
great
great
sages,
kṛṣṇānubhāva,
kṛṣṇānubhāva,
wrapped in thought of Krishna.
wrapped in thought of Krishna,
Śravaṇe,
Śravaṇe
in hearing.
in hearing
hearing,
Śraddadhāno,
Śraddadhāno
sattadhāna,
full of faith.
full of faith
mahā-manāḥ,
mahā-manāḥ
mahā-manāḥ,
the great soul.
the great
great
soul
soul,
saṁsthāṁ,
saṁsthāṁ
saṁsthāṁ,
death.
death
vijñāya,
vijñāya
vijñāya,
being informed.
being informed,
sannyasya,
sannyasya
sannyasya,
renouncing.
renouncing,
karma,
karma,
fruitive activities.
fruitive activities,
trai-vargikaṁ,
trai-vargikaṁ,
the three principles: religion, economic development, and sense gratification.
the three principles of religion, economic development, and sense gratification.
Cha, also. Yat,
Yat,
what it may be.
what it may be.
Vāsudeve,
Vāsudeve,
unto Lord Kṛṣṇa.
unto
unto Lord Kṛṣṇa.
Bhagavati,
Bhagavati,
the personality of Godhead.
the personality of Godhead,
ātma-bhāvaṁ,
ātma-bhāvaṁ,
attraction of love,
attraction of love,
dṛḍhaṁ,
dṛḍhaṁ,
firmly fixed,
firmly fixed,
gataḥ,
gataḥ,
achieved.
achieved.
Translation purport by His Divine Grace Abhay Charanam A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada.
Jai Srila.
Please repeat, begin me the translation. O great sages,
O great sages,
great sages,
the great soul Mahārāja Parīkṣit,
the
great soul Mahārāja
Mahārāja
Parīkṣit,
Parīkṣit,
constantly wrapped in thought of Lord Kṛṣṇa,
constantly wrapped in thought of Lord Kṛṣṇa,
knowing well of his imminent death,
knowing
knowing
well
well of his imminent death,
renounced all sort of fruitive activities,
renounce all sort of fruitive
activities,
namely acts of religion,
namely
acts of religion,
economic development,
economic
development,
and sense gratification,
and
sense
sense
gratification,
and thus
and thus
fixed himself firmly in his
fixed himself firmly in his
natural love for Krishna,
natural love for Krishna,
and asked all these questions
and asked all these questions
exactly as you are asking me.
exactly as you are asking me.
Purport. The three activities of religion, economic development, and sense gratification are generally attractive for conditioned souls struggling for existence in the material world. Such regulated activities prescribed in the Vedas are called the karma-kāṇḍīya, conception of life, and householders are generally recommended to follow the rules just to enjoy the material prosperity both in this life and in the next. Most people are attracted by such activities even in the activities of their modern godless civilization. People are more concerned with economic development and sense gratification without any religious sentiment. As a great emperor of the world, Mahārāja Parīkṣit had to observe such regulations of the Vedic karma-kāṇḍīya section, but by his slight association with Śukadeva Gosvāmī, he could perfectly understand the Lord Kṛṣṇa, the Absolute Personality of Godhead, Vaisnava, for whom he had a natural love since his birth is everything, and thus he fixed his mind firmly upon him, renouncing all modes of Vedic karma-kāṇḍīya activities. This perfectional stage is attained by a jnanis after many births. The jnanis are the empiric philosophers endeavoring for liberation are thousands of times better than the fruitive workers. And out of hundreds and thousands of such jnanis, one is liberated factually, and out of hundreds of thousands of such liberated persons, even one person is rarely found who can firmly fix in his mind unto the lotus feet of the Lord Kṛṣṇa, Śrī Kṛṣṇa, as declared by the Lord Himself in the Bhagavad-gītā 7.90. Mahārāja Parīkṣit is specially qualified with the word mahā-manāḥ, which puts him on an equal level with the Mahatmas described in the Bhagavad-gītā. In the later age also, there have been many Mahatmas of this type, and they also give up all karma-kāṇḍīya conception of life, solely and wholly depending on the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. Lord Chaitanya, who is Lord Kṛṣṇa himself, taught us in his Śikṣāṣṭakam, verse number 8, Āśliśyava pādaratāṁ pinastumāṁ adarṣanān marmahatāṁ karotu vā yadā tadā vā vidātulam pato mat prananādastu eva na paraham. Lord Kṛṣṇa, who is the lover of many devotees, women, may embrace their fully surrendered maid servants, or may trample me with his feet, or he may render me broken-hearted by not being present before me for a long duration of time, but still he is nothing less than the absolute Lord of my heart. Srila Rupa Goswami spoke thus, Virachaya maidandam dina bandhu dayamiva gatir ihavna bhavataha kachit naya mamatsti niptatu satukoti nirbaram va navambaha tat api kilapaya huda stuyate chatakena. O Lord of the poor, do what you like with me. Give me either mercy or punishment. But in this world, I have none to look at to except your lordship. The Chataka bird always prays for the cloud, regardless of whether it showers rains or throws a thunderbolt. Srila Madhavendra Puri, the grand spiritual master of Lord Chaitanya, took leave of all karma-kāṇḍīya obligations in the following words. Sandhya vandana bhatram astu bhavato bhau snanat tubam namo bhau devaha pitarascha tarpanam vido naham shamaha samasyatam yatra kavapi nishasya yadava pulotamasya kamsat vistaha smaram agam akharimi tatalam manye kim anyane me. O my evening prayer, all good unto you. O my morning bath, I bid you goodbye. O demigods and forefathers, please excuse me. I am unable to perform any more offerings for your pleasure. Now I have decided to free myself from all reactions to sins simply by rendering anywhere and everywhere the great descendants of Yadu and the great enemy of Kamsa, Lord Krishna. I think that this is sufficient for me. So what is the use of further endeavors? Srila Madhavendra Puri said further, Mugdamam nigatantu niti nipuna barantam muhur vaitikaha mandam bandava sanchaya jadadiyam mugutartadhartaya dhartaraha sadaraha anmatam dhanina viveka chaturaham kamam mahā-tanbikam muktam na shamate manak api mano govinda pada sarham. Let the sharp moralist accuse me of being illusioned. I do not mind, except in Vedic activities may slander me as being misled. Friends and relatives may call me frustrated. My brothers may call me a fool. The worthy Maimonides may point me out as mad, and the learned philosophers may assert that I am much too proud. Still, my mind does not budge an inch from the determination to serve the lotus feet of the Govinda, though I be unable to do it. And also Prahlad Maharaj said, Dharmartha kama iti yam abhihitas trai-varga iksha trai nayadhamu vivada cha vartha manyetat edat akilam nigamatsya satyam swatmarpanam sagrataha paramasya pumsaha. Religion, economic development, and sense gratification are celebrated as three means of attaining the path of salvation. Of these, Iksha Trai, especially, that is, knowledge of the self, knowledge of fruitive acts and logic, and also politics and economics are different means of livelihood. All these are different subjects of Vedic education, and therefore I consider them temporary engagements. On the other hand, surrendering unto the Supreme Lord Vishnu is the factual gain in life, and I consider it the ultimate truth. Srimad Bhagavatam 7.6.26. The whole matter is concluded in Bhagavad-gītā 2.41 as Vivasayatmika Buddhi, or the absolute path of perfection. Srila Baladev Vidyabhushan Ayagate, Vaisnava scholar, defined this as Bhagavat Archana Rupaika Nikama Kalpataro Vishata Satyaha, accepting transcendental loving service to the Lord as the prime duty, free from fruitive reaction. So, Mahārāja Parīkṣit was perfectly right when he firmly accepted the lotus feet of the Lord Krishna, renouncing all karma-kāṇḍīya conception of life. Om Tassat. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Militamena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Putre Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharani Nirvishesha Shunyavad Pashasha Desha Dharani Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So this, specifically this sloka, the sages who are assembled in the Naimisharanya. So the Sutta Goswami addressing those sages. So Sutta Goswami is addressing those sages. He is telling that Mahārāja Parīkṣit also, he has the rapt attention on Lord Kṛṣṇa. He's focused fully on Lord Kṛṣṇa. So he know well aware of his death or this also, but still he renounced all sort of fruity activities. So there are four things are there in our material. The human life is for the four things. One is Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. That is religion, economic development, sense gratification, and liberation. So he left all this religion, economic development, and sense gratification, and he firmly fixed in the love of Krishna. For what? To get into the last thing, which is liberation. So he asked the perfect questions to Śukadeva Gosvāmī. So the Suta Goswami is addressing the sages who are assembled in the name of Sharanya. How you are all asking the question, the similar way Śukadeva Gosvāmī also asked. So what does that means? That means the sages who are all named Sharanya, they are all in the renounced order of life. That means they are not having any attraction with religion, economic development, and sense gratification. So the Mahārāja Parīkṣit, he was the great king, and king means he has all these things are always with him: religion, economic development, and sense gratification. But still, since becoming a king also, he left everything and he came out and he was concentrated on Lord Kṛṣṇa. So he is also considered similar to the sages who are assembled into the name Sharanya. That means he left, since the person who is leaving religion, economic development, and sense gratification for the sake of Kṛṣṇa, for the sake of getting into the liberation, that person is called Mahatmas. So that's what Prabhupada also explaining in this purport. So all the Vedas, we have the 4 Vedas, all the karma-kāṇḍīya activities. So all the Vedas are explaining the karma-kāṇḍīya activities, which is only religion, economic development, and sense gratification. So if you see all the people in the 99% of the people in this world, they are going behind all these things: religion, economic development, and sense gratification. Their mind always thinking in these 3 things activities only. So the person who is thinking only these 3 things, they are all called karma-kāṇḍīs. So their karma-kāṇḍīs in the sense, they don't know how to get out of this world. They don't want to get out of this material world also. They wanted to, in this life, they wanted to enjoy, and they wanted to get to know that how to make our next day also with enjoyment. So they know that we will get a next birth. So for that also they will do the activities, charity, giving the charity to others, and do some philanthropic activities, so that they will get the next life also, enjoyable life. So they wanted to say, they don't want to get out of this material miseries, because they are thinking that this is the whole and soul. This, whatever the religion, economic development, and sense gratification, which is the whole and soul for the life. So they don't know the medium, how to get out of this material world. They don't want to get to know about how to get out of the liberation, how to get the liberation, the 4th order, 4th thing. That also they don't want to get into that, because the religion, economic development, and sense gratification, this is the fruitive activities. If you do something on the economic development, that is, it will give the fruits of whatever you will do the karma, you will get it will get the good or bad karma. You have to enjoy or suffer. And if for sense gratification you do something, that also you will enjoy or suffer. So all these things, it is connected with the karma, and it is bind with the karma, and it will come up with the enjoyment. You will enjoy in the next birth. It will add you the good karma or bad karma. But the 4th thing, which is not connected with these fruity activities, which is liberation. The person who is getting into the path of liberation, they won't attracted by all these 3 things. That's what again and again our religious principles are explaining. So the 4th order is, so if you consider, we cannot go with all these 3 along with the liberation. We cannot go with that. If you wanted to get into the renounced order of life, you need to practice the detachment of the fruity works. So namely Dharma, Artha, Kama. So these things we need to detach so that we can get into the path of liberation. So Mahārāja Parīkṣit, immediately he left all this Dharma, Artha, Kama. So he sat for the liberation. Home, family, he sat for liberation, even though he know that within some days I'm going to die. And in Bhagavad-gītā 7.19, Krishna is saying, Bahunam janmanam ante jnanavan mam prapatyante vāsudevam sarvam iti sa mahatma sudallabha. So he is saying that after many, many births and deaths, he who is actually in knowledge surrender unto me, knowing me to be the cause of all causes and all that is, such a great soul is very rare. So he is saying that Krishna himself is saying that the person, after many, many births and deaths, he will get to know the son, he will get to know the knowledge that the ultimate goal of life is surrendering to Krishna. Because if you see the whole world, everybody, it is in the Dharma, Artha, Kama only. They are not understanding about Moksha. The Moksha, who is talking about Moksha? Like our devotees, the devotee communities who are chanting the holy name of the Lord, who came to know about, who have the touch of Bhagavad-gītā, Śrīmad-bhāvaṁ, like scriptures, who understand and try to apply in their life. Only those persons will think about the liberation. Not all the people in this material world. See, now we are also in ISKCON also, we are trying to make the people to understand what is the Lord himself, Supreme Lord is saying in Bhagavad-gītā, Śrīmad-bhāgavatam. Try to follow this. Like that we are preaching. But without preaching, if you see all the other demigod temples, there are so many people are lined up. So yesterday it is Gaura Purnima, Guru Purnima. So the entire, if you see the people, they are Sai Baba temple. It is they made the Sai Baba. There are so many Sai Baba temples now. Earlier there was no Sai Baba temple. Earlier, each and every corner, the Ganapati temple will be there. People will go lined up there. Now the trend got changed. It is becoming a Sai Baba temple. So all are lined up there. So nobody preached them about who is Sai Baba, what is his preachings. Nobody ready to hear that. What he is preaching also. He is saying that Sabka Malik Ek Hai. So in Hindi, it is, he said, Sabka Malik Ek Hai. That means for all, the only one is a Supreme Lord. One God is there. He was saying that one owner. Who is the one owner? The Supreme Lord is the one owner. He is talking about that, but people are not listening to that only because they are in the Dharma, Artha, Kama. So somebody went and told that I worshipped Baba and I got this so much of money and I got the children. All those things, if they said, then immediately other will follow. So in this way, so the corona, how it is affected. So the corona, it is started from China. It is affected the entire world within no time. Within a month, it is affected the entire world. And all the people got affected in corona. The similar way, this Dharma, Artha, Kama also, it is affected the entire community of the people. They are following that. Okay, let me go to the temple. So nobody asked them to come to the temple. We are preaching, we are doing the Nagar Sankirtan, we are calling the people, come for the Sunday program. We are teaching Bhagavad-gītā, Bhagavatam, and what is the purpose of life. But people are not interested in that. But if we say that, if you come, then you will get so much of money, so much of this and that, then they will come. But because that's the reason the people, all of us, all the other karma-kāṇḍīs, all of them are called karma-kāṇḍīs. They are all only behind this Dharma, Artha, and Kama only. So they want only that. They don't want to talk about liberation also. Liberation, they will say at the time when it will come, let it come. So even though they are not ready to understand, they are thinking that this is the life. This life I want to be happy. I want to enjoy. I want to economically. I want to. Yes, now all the advertisement also like that only. How you can become a crorepati within a month. So making crore is not a big problem. How many business you are doing? How many different varieties of income you have? If you have only one, you are a poor fellow. They will say you are not an intelligent person. If you have the multiple way of getting the income, then you are an intelligent person. They are giving the training to how to get the multiple income. So all these things are, see, advertisements are coming. Even though if you are trying to hear some lectures from Śrīmad Bhagavatam or Bhagavad-gītā, immediately in between, this kind of advertisements are coming. This is what it is doing. It is agitating the mind of people to get into the path of Dharma, Artha, and Kama. So that is the reason, even though after multiple birth and deaths, there are very rarely people surrendering to the Lord Kṛṣṇa. They are leaving that all this Dharma, Artha, Kama, they are trying for the liberation. So even though you are trying for See, they are giving the example of Ambani, how he became an Ambani, how this guy became a owner of Apple company, Microsoft company, he's a Google CEO, how they are earning the crores. Then they are giving that as an example. So because the one thing, if you make a people see a desire in the people heart, immediately people will attracted, they will come behind you. So that is the reason people are putting all those things in front of us. Okay, see this. They are earning crores of money. How it is possible? You can also do that. It is very easy. So all those things, it is pleasing to our ears. Immediately people go running behind those kind of people. And finally, what is happening? See, whatever the economic development, whatever the dharma, artha, kama, which how much ever we did in the previous birth, whatever we accumulated, our papa or punya, according to this dharma, artha, kama will connect with us. Even though you meditate for the entire life, whatever, you cannot become an Ambani, because Ambani is the only person, he can become an Ambani. So everybody cannot become a Ambani. Everybody cannot become a crorepati like that, because he did the punya karma in the previous life. So he is enjoying this crores in this life. But not everyone have that kind of punya, because of according to their punya, they are placed in this different situation. But people are not understanding that, because they are following the false advertisement from the religious side also. But the name of religion also, the false advertisement is going on, and in the name of economic development, the so-called the motivators, they are also making the people in the false direction. So all these things are divert our concentration. The purpose of life is following the rules and regulations, whatever is told in the Vedas, and get into to understand the Supreme Lord and get into the path of liberation. But the entire human society now, it is running behind dharma, artha, kama. So even this is not going to be changed anywhere, anytime. Always the devotee community, it will be a minority only. 1 or 2% of the world population only will try to get into the path of liberation. Now, remaining 98 to 99% of the people, they will go behind of all those things only, because that is the quality of Kali Yuga also. The Kali Yuga Kali Yuga quality is like that only. People cannot understand, because they are the Manda Buddhi. They cannot understand. The person who understands the purpose of life is get into the path of liberation and worship the Supreme Lord and get into the path of liberation. Only the intelligent person can understand and accept and try to follow that. So even though if you are not able to follow completely, then that also in Bhagavad-gītā 2.40, Krishna is saying that Negha Bikramana Soste Pratyavayo na Vidyati Sulpam Abhiyasya Dharmasya Trayato Mahato Bhayat. Krishna is saying that even though if you are not able to complete your bhakti in this lifetime, at least you can, it will, whatever you did bhakti, the next life, you can start from wherever you left from the previous life. So that's the reason bhakti we have to do, at least we have to start in this life. And also in 2.41, Krishna, what he is saying that Vyavasayatmika buddhir eko kuru nandana bahushaka hai anantascha baddayo avavasayinam. But he is saying that those who are on the path of resolute in purpose and their aim is one, O beloved child of Kurus, the intelligent of those who are irresolute in many branch. So they won't, the person whose only determination is get out of this material world, the only one determination. They won't go attracted by multiple things, attracted by the sense gratification. If you go here, you can see the glamorous movie. If you go here, you can hear the beautiful, you can see the beautiful women. If you go here, you can hear the beautiful songs. If you go here, you can taste the palatable foods. So they won't get attracted with multiple branches. The person who is the resolute purpose, who know the resolute purpose of the absolute truth, who know the path of liberation, that person, he is fixed in this path and he will get into the path, he will progress in that path. He won't get attracted by other branches. That's what Krishna also himself also saying in Bhagavad-gītā. So the today's sloka, we discussed about dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. There are 4 things, and Mahārāja Parīkṣit, he left all the fruitive activities, the dharma, artha, kama, and he was working for the liberation. And he came to know the 7 days. That's the reason he immediately left everything. He went for the liberation. But we are not like that. We don't know when is our death is going to come. So it is better to try slowly. Try to leave this dharma, artha, kama, and try for the liberation, so that we can make our life, make this human birth a meaningful one. Otherwise, there is no difference between dogs and cats. We just be in the sense gratification. So please chant the holy name of the Lord and hear about the Lord, read about the Lord, and make your life perfect and ready for to get into the path of liberation. Hare Krishna. Anandara Srimad